with this in mind, with this in mind, you'll see that in one application, you may declare and code server activities and set them all on launchers. So you may have several like 2, 3, 4, or 5 icons as launchers inside your application launchers screen for only one application using just set another activity, okay, create another intent filter and action with that kind of name and the category to be launcher. Okay, we'll talk more about intents and intent filters in the next lecture. Okay, so we need to declare it this way. So we're going to get back to this activity, and you see our application right now, there is no cross sign there anymore. So if we click on this one to run, okay, click on this one to run, the character is built. So we're going to launch, you can launch it with your emulator. So I'm gonna choose this Nexus 5 emulator. Okay, click on OK, wait for it to run. Wait for it to run. Okay, this one. So my Android is loaded. Let's just open to see. This one is basic view in Java, and we see nothing over here. The reason is, as I explained already, our relative layout is just a container, and it doesn't have its visibility. So next job is, let's say I'm going to create a button. And this button is an instance of. Okay, this button is an instance of the button class, and itself is inherited from the view class. So we're going to create that button. But before setting the content out, so we're going to create the button btn press me, let's say, equal to new button control space, select this one. Okay, and we need to pass in the context as well, and we're gonna pass in this as I explained in previous video. Then when we have this button, we're going to set its own properties. So about its own properties, is going to have the text and the background, as I explained theoretically last time. So you're going to set the button press me dot set text for it, and right now we're gonna set press me and button press me dot, let's say I'm gonna set the background color, okay, colors to colors dot, okay, color dot yellow, okay, color dot yellow, okay, color dot yellow. Then we have created the object or button. Then we set its color. We set its text to press me. Okay, we set its text to press me. Okay, this one is a line of code, and we set the background color to yellow color. So we're gonna select the yellow color, whatever. Okay, then we're going to select this one and fill it with yellow color. Okay, so we have the button created, and next thing is we're going to take this. Okay, we take this button and put it into the layout before the layout is displayed on the activity. Take this button and put into the layout. So we're going to put the button into the layout. So we're going to take the button press me dot, the layout dot, okay, add view. So we're going to add that button press me in. Okay, so we're going to add that button press me in. This one I'm going to bring it in, but let's just run this one and see. Okay, let's just run this one and see. It's going to this one are okay. It's show this one again. So we're going to use the same device for the future launches. So click on this one. We'll click on this one. See, and see the button press me right now is under our layout, and it is in the content view of the activity. And by default, if you use relative layouts and you put a child view into it, it's gonna be by default staying on top left corner of the layout. So it's staying the top left corner of the layout. So you what you did just now is you was placing this button with placing this button, okay, into the layout, and by default it's staying in the top left corner of the layout. And this time I don't like it to stay in the top left corner of the relative layout, but I want to stay in center of the screen, vertically, okay, center, and horizontally center. So I'm going to, I would like to bring it vertically center and horizontally center somewhere like this. Okay, so in order to do this, it's a job of the layout to arrange. It's a job of the layout. Okay, it's a job of the layout to arrange the child views position and the size of the child views. So in this case, we need to create the layout parameters. And each kind of layout manager, like relative layout, frame layout, so on and so forth, has its own kind of layout parameters. We need to create an object of layout parameters for the position and the size of the button. So now we're going to create. So we're going to create. Okay, we're going to create before putting it. We're going to create. Okay, we're going to create the create the layout parameter for the button. So the layout parameters again in charge of the position and the size of the button. Button, besides having its own properties like the text press me and the background yellow, okay, it has layout parameters for position and the size of it, the size including a width and height. So for that we need to create the layout parameters object. This one gonna have a relative layout, okay, dot layout parameters layout. I want to name it layout let's say button press me layout parameters equal to new. We're going to create new relative layout, and in order to create this layout, we are passing two information. We're going to determine the width and the height of the child components. And for the width and the height of the components, we can specify them several ways. Okay, for the width and the height, we can specify them in several ways. The width and the height may either be, let's just switch this one to, like, it may either be one of the three values. Okay, the first one is maybe grab content. Okay, it may be grabbed content. What does that mean? Grab content. So it's as large as the content of here. So let's say the width gonna be as large to contain the content inside it. Okay, the height is also as large as the content inside it. Let's say this one. It's grab content, or it's maybe match parent. So it's maybe match parent. Okay, it's maybe match parent. It's maybe match parents. So it's maybe match parent. What does it mean? Match parents. So let's say the width of this stick field is gonna match the parents of its components here, and its parents of its component is the layout. Okay, parents of this component is the layout, or it's maybe next kind of thing is you can give a specific size for it. Or in specific, what does it mean? Specific size here. Size is size. It's specific number, okay, in form of pixel, okay, in form of pixel or pixel or dot per inch. I'm sorry, dp, so on and so forth. Okay, then in this case, I would like my button to grab, okay, to grab the content. So if the content is large, it's gonna be long. If the content is small, it's gonna be small. Short is gonna be short. So we're going to specify that constants there. So we create a new relative layout, and that relative layout we're going to specify the first parameter is relative layout, okay, dot layout parameters dot the width is grab content. Okay, similarly the height gonna be grab content too. Okay, so the size of the button is grab the content. Then next one is we're going to we're going to add more rules about their position. Again, because the job of the layer is about the arrangement or position and the size of the components. So right now you're going to specify rules. So button press me LayoutParameters dot add rules, and when I say that this one is going to be relative layout, okay, to center, okay, to center it horizontally, Similarly, you're gonna duplicate this line and you say it's gonna center vertically. Okay, it's gonna center vertically. So your button is going to brought to the center, and we need to set this layout parameter to the button. Okay, set this layout parameter to the button. In order to set the layout parameter to the button, we're going to set the to the button. So you're going to do button press me dot set layout parameters to the button press me layout parameters. Okay, this one is gonna set the layout parameters. There are two ways for you to set the layout parameters. You can set it separately like this and add it like this. Okay, or instead of doing these two lines, okay, you can set it this way. Okay, you can set it this way, layout, set it while adding it, add view, button press me, and the button press me layout parameters. So you can use this line and this line, or you can use this single line. Okay, so in this case, you're gonna set the layout parameters to the button directly, then you add the button to the layout. And this one is you set the layout parameters to the button when adding it to the layout. Okay, layout. And if we run this application right now and observe, you'll see that this button gonna stay in the center. Okay, so the button now is staying in the center. See, so so you already learned the next very important concept, which is about layout manager. Okay, layout managers or view groups. Okay, and just to prove your layout, relative layout. Okay, you're gonna browse it, go to declaration or command B in the case of Mac. Okay, it is a view group object. Okay, and this command B again, this view group is actually extending from the view, so it's also a view. So it's a proof for what I have shown you here. It's a view group. Okay, it's kind of view group layout measure. It's kind of view group. This view group extend from the view. It's in charge of the arrangement or position of the child and the size of the child. Okay, so any of the components, like your button, will have its own property, like the text and the background, and also it's gonna have its own parameters for the layout, which is about the position and the size or the width and the height. Width and the height may be in form of wrap content, match parent, or specific number there. Okay, or specific number there. Okay. In the next video, I'm gonna create other components like this.